Ahead and hit record. All righty, beautiful. Well, hello, everyone. My name is Chris Zach, located here in a little village in California called San Diego. If you've never been, I highly recommend it. Come try our Mexican food. We've got some pretty decent weather as well. But yeah, I'm really excited to be with you guys. I have been teaching in the Real Academy for about 6 or 7 years or so. When I started, there was a little over 1,000 agents with Real, so it's been really fun to grow with you guys. But yeah, I teach two classes every month. So you guys are attending today, Facebook Ads 101. 101. So this is an elementary beginner Facebook ads class. Today, the goal is to teach you how to do a Facebook ad from start to finish. Couple housekeeping things. One, this is being recorded. If you do need the recording, I actually am doing it on my end. So if you do need the recording, feel free to send your email address over in chat. Otherwise, you'll also see a spot here in a couple minutes where you can get my contact info. But yeah, really nice to meet with you guys today. The agenda, we'll get into that in just a second. I always love to kind of put a name with the face, though, so you guys know a little bit about me and why I am here. So, for myself, full transparency, I am not a realtor, or if you're not from the industry, a realtor. However, I've been on this side of the wall about 19 years. So, real estate marketing, that's my bread and butter. So, I own and operate a company out here in San Diego called Chris Zach Interact, and we help agents with online lead generation with Facebook, Instagram, Google, and YouTube. And then we also help agents a lot with integrating technology. So if you're listening to this, you probably use Lofty for your CRM or, one of the big CRM companies. If none of them are talking and you're like, Chris, I'm tired of logging into 7 different systems. Nothing works, nothing helps. I can't convert internet leads. I am your guy to help you with that. But with that being said, I understand nature of the beast. Generating a lead is one thing, converting that lead is a whole other can of worms. So if we can help with either of those, guys, let me know. But today is not about me, it is about you and getting you really, really dangerous with Facebook ads. So the agenda here today, as I mentioned, we're going to create an ad from start to finish on Facebook. We're going to cover some of the basics on Facebook Ads 201, which is a class I teach. That'll be next Thursday. We get into more retargeting, some more advanced practices on Facebook and Instagram ads itself. But today we're going to go from start to finish and really just answer any questions that you guys have about creating an ad. So, a couple agenda items. What do you need to succeed? I always start with some of the basics. I think it's really important to understand what you need to be doing. But at the same time, I also like to set realistic expectations. Facebook and Meta ads are not something for the faint of heart. Um, However, I want to make sure you guys have realistic expectations. So before you do an ad, what should you be doing? The different kind of Facebook ads. We're going to cover that as well. And then we'll get into a couple of best practices that I love. We'll talk about Facebook lead forms. We'll talk about money and actually how to create a really good Facebook ad. So with that being said, I've got everyone muted. If you do have any questions, please send it over in chat. If we don't have any questions, I'll just keep trucking along here. But otherwise, let's go ahead and dive into what do you need to actually succeed with Facebook ads. So I always get this question. You do not need to use your personal page. You need a personal Facebook account in order to create a Facebook business page. You can only run ads through a business page, though, or an Instagram business account. You cannot run them from personal, even if you wanted to. Um, you have to have a personal account in order to create a page. So your dog, your cat, your kids, they're all safe. We're going to use the business page to create a Facebook actual ad itself. The other thing before I forget, I say Facebook a lot today. Meta is actually the name of the company. They own Facebook and Instagram. So when I say Facebook today, Facebook and Instagram, tomato, tomato, they're both the same as far as what we're going to discuss today. To get started, I would encourage you guys, step one, you're going to go to business.facebook.com. So business.facebook.com. That's actually where you're going to get started in creating basically everything that you need to get your Facebook ads up and rocking. So I will go through that here today. We'll walk you through that from start to finish in just a few minutes. Um, the other thing, I strongly recommend you have a website with a home search and updated MLS. If I cannot go to your website and search for homes, do not waste your money on spending money on leads and lead generation. I wouldn't recommend it. And the main reason why is if you do not have that on your website, people are going to go to Zillow, Realtor.com, Trulia. There's thousands of other websites they can go to search for a home. So if you generate a lead, you want to keep them on your site, right? If I'm shopping at Foot Locker, you're not going to tell me, hey, you should go down the street to Dick's Sporting Goods. They've got better shoes than we do. You want to keep users and you want to keep people on your website. So when it comes to the lead conversion side, you've got to have a website with the home updated MLS search. And then I'm assuming if you're here today, you want to be a better marketer. Uh, I always tell agents, you need to know enough to be dangerous on Facebook ads. I want you to be able to feel like, okay, Chris, it's actually pretty easy to do a Facebook ad. I get a lot of feedback over the years from agents when I teach this class, and they're like, Chris, I'm baffled how easy it is actually to create a Facebook ad. And although I would agree with that, there's also, a ton of stuff behind the scenes that you need to know. But you guys are here because you want to be better marketers, and I love that. One of my favorite Wayne Gretzky quotes, you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. I'm not asking you to invest your entire 401k, get rid of your shares and stocks to start and do Facebook ads, but I am telling you guys, start investing 5, $10 a day anytime that you have a new listing. You owe that to your seller. So I'll cover some best practices as far as that with listings, but I always encourage agents. If you do have a new listing, you have to do a Facebook ad for it. It's the best way to get some easy exposure out in the community for that specific listings. So hopefully you guys are drinking my Kool-Aid. I love this stuff. I've been doing ads for a long, long time. But all these little intangible things that I'm talking about, guys, that's really the secret sauce. Anyone can generate an ad and a lead, but getting that person to talk to you, getting out and showing them property, I understand that's a whole other can of worms. So hopefully you guys are drinking some of my Kool-Aid. But any questions, comments, concerns before we do dive in? Any questions? Looks like we're good on Zoom. Let me check the live chat. All right, looks like we're good. If you guys do have any questions, send them over in chat. Otherwise, we're going to keep on rocking. So as I mentioned earlier, you got to start with the business manager. So I want you guys to go to business.facebook.com. So business.facebook.com. If you can, go to that website and you're going to see something similar to what I'm viewing here on my screen. Um, if you guys see something differently, you guys are probably already started creating a business manager itself. You only need one business manager account. So you don't need 10 different accounts, even if you own multiple businesses. If you do own multiple businesses, you just need one business manager to basically set all of this up. The reason why you want to have a business manager is it allows you to do and kind of take advantage of everything that Facebook ads really offers. This is where you're going to manage your ads. This is where you're going to manage all your pages. If you have an agency or if you have, people on your team that help you post on Facebook or Instagram, that's all going to sit and live underneath the business manager. So if you've ever gotten caught up in this, I always have agents that after we do this training, they're like, Chris, my business manager is a mess. Can you help me clean it up? We definitely can. But I want you guys to first start with this. It takes about 3 or 4 minutes to get it set up. Fill in the blank name, email address, phone number, address. You do have to put in your credit card number. So when you do start running ads, they can actually process billing. But this is the first step that you guys have to do is actually go to business.facebook and set that up. So assuming you guys have done that, and if you're watching this replay, pause this video right now and I'd go set this part up. That way you can kind of follow along here step by step. The other thing is Meta, Facebook, they're constantly changing the way that this page looks. So if it looks differently for you, I'm sorry. But you should see either your business manager here or you should see an option for you to create a new account. So I'm just going to pause there. Any questions at all so far here, guys? All right. Um, All right, so let's go to the next step here, guys. Business manager setup. Now you can actually start running ads. So before we spend a dime, one thing I love doing is this step right here, guys. This is the most important feature, in my opinion, before you start running ads. You've got to know your audience. You have to know your audience. And the reason why I see a lot of agents fail is they do these ads and they're like, their messaging's not set up, their graphics, their website's not set up, their follow-up's not in place. So before I do spend a dime on marketing, and we do this anytime we get a lot of agents that reach out and say, hey, Chris, can you help take over and run some ads for us? Yes, we can, but I'm going to interrogate you a little bit. And the reason why is because I care about your business. So if anyone wants to be my guinea pig, I'd love to know if you're running Facebook ads, who's your audience? Who are you trying to market right now? Are you trying to generate leads? So, first question I want you to ask, think about who you want to market or what you want to market to. Does anyone want to send over in chat the location or city or state where you're located? And I can use you as my guinea pig. Promise I'll be nice, but it's usually pretty helpful when an agent tells me the area or the market that they're in. Does anyone want to share that? If so, send it over in chat. I'll give you guys a couple seconds here. Where are you physically located at? If you can send that over in chat for me. If not, I'm going to pick San Diego where I'm located. All right, I'm going to use San Diego as an example. All right, so I live in San Diego. I am a snowbird. I'm originally from Minnesota. I came out here on vacation and I was like, I got to move there. So I did. So we've got a ton of relocation. We've got a ton of people who are in the military. If you're a military vet, appreciate you serving. We got military. We've got first-time home buyers. We've got luxury buyers, people that are investing in the San Diego market, vacation rentals, VRBO, Airbnb. We also have people that want to live downtown, high-rise condo type of a market. We've got our beach communities. We've got inland. We've got North County. We've got South County, East County. So we've got a lot of different places. San Diego is about 70 miles of coast, with a lot of people. I would not recommend running a generic ad in San Diego. So, what I would think about is who do you want to market? Who do you want to market? You've got to pick one of those audiences. So, if you're targeting military relocation, you're going to want to have something in place for that. If you're wanting to target first time home buyers, you've got to have something in place for that as well. So, think about who you want to market to. Next, think about where they will go next. If I register on your ad that I see that's, targeting first-time homebuyers in San Diego, hopefully I'm going to a website where I'm viewing houses that are right around that first-time homebuyer price point. Now in San Diego right now, that's at about $1 million. So for a lot of people, they're going to search for property between, I would say 700 and probably 1.2, 1.3 million. That's kind of our first-time homebuyer entry market in San Diego. With that being said, if I took people to a website where they're looking at a bunch of $5 to $7 million properties, you're wasting their time, right? It's a first-time home buyer. You caught them with the ad, whatever the ad was talking about, but then the next step. The other thing is, are you going to have your graphics and your verbiage talking to that specific audience? So, for example, if you're running a first time homebuyer ad, tired of renting, tired of paying your landlord, tired of not owning San Diego real estate, worried about a down payment, right? All of these questions that first time homebuyers have in their head, you want to have on the graphics, you want to have your verbiage ready. If I am you and you've never run ads before, use ChatGPT, use Claude, use whatever AI that you're using. Hey, I'm running some first-time homebuyer ads on Facebook, targeting first-time homebuyers in San Diego. What verbiage, what graphics should I have? Really, really important. Really, really important. So, last thing, do you have a follow-up plan in place? Um, Follow-up is massive. Generating a lead's easy for a lot of you. Getting that lead to convert and actually talk to you, that's a whole other can of worms. So if I end up registering, are you sending me a first-time homebuyer guide? Hey, here's the 5 questions a lot of first-time homebuyers have. If you have any questions, please let me know. Those type of things are great, right? Those follow-up plans are great. That's what helps you convert. Have you ever gone to a website and you've registered and then all of a sudden you just start receiving all these email and these text messages? Has nothing to do with what you're interested in. That's why real estate agents do not convert internet leads. It's a huge part of it. You're talking to the same, audience, if you will, with the exact same message. You've got to talk to people differently. You would not talk to me as your past client the same way that you would your first time home buyer or an investor or someone in the military. So why are you doing that with online leads? So I am big on this. Lofty, they make this really easy. Does anyone want to send over what CRM or website that you're using? But most CRMs and websites allow you to customize it. So you can build your own first time homebuyer campaign, military relocation, a seller's guide. Most CRM and website companies allow you to do that. And if we can help you build out some of that stuff, guys, as I mentioned earlier, this is a big part of what we do on our business as well. So know your audience, know who you're going after before you do spend a dime. I am so big on that, guys, because I see so many agents in my, almost 20 years doing this. They just spend money and they're just, all right, I'm going to try this lead company, on to the next lead company. You've got to have all these ducks in a row before you spend a dime. Agents are always shocked when they talk to me and I say, "Hey, don't spend another dollar on online lead generation." They're like, "Chris, doesn't that what your company does?" I'm like, "Yeah, but I care about your business. You've got a lead database of 10,000 leads. You should be engaging those leads before you spend another dime." So, really important to know your audience and kind of the strategy before you do start spending a dime on ads. All right, so that's my little soapbox, guys. Any questions, comments, concerns? Has anyone had good success converting Facebook and Instagram leads? Have you guys had an awful experience? As I mentioned, this isn't my first day, so you're not going to hurt my feelings if you tell me, Chris, Facebook leads suck in my area. But anyone had any good success, positive or negative, with ads? All right, you guys are quiet. I'm going to keep trucking along here, but let me know if you guys do have any questions. All right, so now you know your audience. Hey, Chris, I want to run this ad. What type of ads can you actually run? So there's a lot of different ads that you can run on Facebook. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to ads.facebook.com. Ads.facebook.com. And when you do that, you should see how you are able to actually pull up and create a new ad. So you're going to see this green button for create a new ad. Now, if you are following along and kind of pausing the replay, you might see a different look and view on your screen. Choose a manual campaign. If when you hit create, it gives you some options. We're doing a manual campaign today. I promise you, yes, it's manual, but it's really like maybe another 10 seconds worth of extra steps. But really, really important. So we're going to click create a new ad. One of the first questions it's going to ask is, hey, are you a part of a special ad category? You have to choose housing category. Don't try and outsmart Meta. They're going to flag your ads. If you've ever posted an ad and it's gotten, pushback from Facebook, my guess is it's probably because you didn't have that ads category. So always choose housing category. All right. And then these are all of the different type of ads that you can run currently on Facebook. All right. So first up is sales. We don't run sales ads in real estate. This is more for the e-commerce world. If you've ever bought anything off of Instagram, I bought a Padre sweatshirt for my kid for his birthday off of Instagram last week. That's a sales ad they ran. All right. So we don't talk about the sales side of things with the ads itself. Leads, 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 leads. This is my number one ad. If you're taking notes, Chris told me to do Facebook lead ads. This is what I strongly recommend you guys do. We'll get into this in just a moment, but leads, this is actually them registering on Facebook. Once they register, you then take them to your website. That's what I strongly recommend you guys do. All right. We'll talk about that here in just a few moments, as I mentioned. Engagement. Next up is engagement. Engagement sounds exactly like what it is, which is you are trying to get people to engage with you and your company. This is a way for you to get more messages, more video views, page likes. Think of this as you're basically just bringing people into a room and trying to ask people to raise their hand. Um, I do engagement ads typically with a brand new clients who are maybe new to an area. Otherwise, we do some engagement ads. It's really just good to get a lot of eyeballs. So if you recently did a really good video and you're like, Chris, I just want to get a lot more views on this video, do an engagement post. I'm going to skip over this one pretty quickly, but app promotion. If you have a mobile app, like my kids, they're on their tablets. They're constantly getting ads. Hey, download this new game, download this new app. We have some clients that do have their own app, but we don't do a ton of ads for download an app on Facebook ads. All right, next up, if you're taking notes, number two, my favorite I should say my second favorite is a traffic ad. Traffic ad is pay per click. Google does this. This is what Zillow does. Traffic ads are as an old of an online lead generation source as possible. What traffic means? People are on Facebook, they're on Instagram, right? They're scrolling through. All of a sudden, they see a picture, of your dog or your cat, and then next up, oh, it looks like list of homes for sale in San Diego. They click on that ad, you take them off of Facebook and you're bringing them to your website. So think of it as you're playing traffic cop. Hey, stop searching on Facebook or Instagram. I want to bring you to my website. So that's traffic. We do a lot of traffic ads as well. This is really good to just get traffic to your website. Maybe you've got a landing page. We do a lot of for our clients, we help promote like first-time home buyers workshops, VA home buyer seminars type of thing. We've got some clients that do, client appreciation parties and they're, hey, RSVP on Eventbrite, go to this website to register. So traffic ads, they do a really good job for that. All right, so traffic ads, that's my number two favorite. And then the third one is what's called awareness. Awareness ads are what you guys are probably most familiar with. Awareness ads have been around forever. Think of bench ads, think of billboards, think of grocery cart ads. This is awareness. This is top of mind marketing. So I want you guys to view awareness ads like a billboard online. This is a digital billboard. Awareness is a good way for you to just say, hey, there's 10 million people that live in my city. I just want to build awareness to that. Or, hey, Chris, I live in a small town, Minnesota. I just want to build awareness and just, hey, I'm top of mind. Hey, I'm Chris, I'm a realtor. It's just kind of that awareness type of an ad. We run some of these for our clients as well. Anytime you get an award, we've got some clients that are some of the top agents in their market. We love bragging about this type of stuff. So really important. So those are the different type of ads. Any questions so far here? Just going to pause again, guys. All righty. No questions coming through. So we've gone over the different type of ads that you can do. Now let's talk about my favorite one, which are Facebook lead forms. All right. So Facebook lead forms, here's what it means. I am on Facebook. I'm scrolling through. I take a look at everything. And then as soon as I see your ad and I click on learn more, it auto populates my contact information. So it actually pulls my contact info from my Facebook profile, my name, my email address, and my phone number. Now, here's the good news, bad news about this. The good news, people don't have to type this in, it auto populates it. Now, the bad news is I would say about 95% of people, their contact info is updated. But the downside of this approach is some people, they're using an old email address. They signed up on Facebook 15 years ago with an AOL email address they don't use, or maybe an old phone number, and since then they've changed their number. So I would say about 90 to 95% of contact info is going to be accurate, but the downside of this lead, form approach is some clients are like, Chris, I'm getting a lot of fake phone numbers and email addresses. Out of the box, I just want to be super transparent with you guys. That is something to expect. Now, Facebook, they are a smart company. They want to keep spending your money, so they have done some things to improve that. So, for example, they have like a text verification. So when you put in your phone number here, it actually text messages you, "Hey, Chris, confirm your phone number here before moving on." That's a really good way of actually filtering out some people who are just, bored and clicking through on ads. Facebook lead forms, this is my number one approach. As soon as they register on Facebook, they're then brought into your CRM. So this is our biggest, ad that we do. I would say 90-95% of our ads are actually lead generation ads. That's what we do a lot of. So Facebook lead forms, guys, for those of you taking notes, this is my number one, numero uno, right here. Next up, you can also do ads for Facebook or Instagram messages. Now, this sounds really good. However, speed to lead is very important. And so, what this means is when someone's going through Facebook, they're looking at everything, and then all of a sudden they see your ad. Excuse me. They see your ad, and instead of going to your website or registering, they actually click on it, and now they're having a conversation back and forth with you. So they're able to text, they're able to, reach back and forth. They're able to have that conversation with you right via Facebook or Instagram. I have a lot of agents that, Chris, I hate cold calling. This might be a good strategy for you. So I do recommend this for agents that are always on their phone, like most of us. But you've got to really pay attention to your Instagram, your Facebook messages. You've got to be quick with this approach. But for agents that don't like to cold call, this might be a strategy I might recommend for you. All right, so that's a couple of the different lead types itself. Um, as I mentioned, just to kind of recap, what you're going to want to do is you're going to first want to set up your business manager. Then you'll be able to create an ad. After you start creating ads, you're going to have to choose what campaign objective do you want to do? What type of ads do you want to run? Do you want to run them for leads? Do you want to run them for traffic, engagement, awareness? For those of you taking notes, Facebook lead forms, that's number one. Number two, Facebook ads for traffic. That's number two. That's what I'm a big, big fan of. All right. So now that we've decided that, now the second piece of this is we've got to choose our budget. How much do we want to spend and who do we actually want to show this ad to? All right. So let's dive into that now. So with budget, you've got two different options here. All right. So the first option is you can do what's called lifetime budget. Facebook, I want to spend 300 bucks over the next month. Now, with this, what I really, really love is they do a good job of kind of spreading your budget out. So if you say, hey, I want to spend 300 bucks over the next month, they're going to spend just a little bit of money every day. You can also choose to run your ads on a schedule. So maybe you're like, Chris, I'm in real estate part-time. Maybe you've got someone who, is an ISA or someone cold calling your leads for you. You can also run these ads on a schedule when it's on lifetime. So, hey, Facebook, I want to spend 300 bucks the next month, but only run them Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. So you can kind of pick and choose with the lifetime budget. You can always add in, obviously, more budget if you want to increase your lifetime budget, but lifetime budget's kind of a set it and a forget it type of an approach with the ads. All right, next up is what's called daily budget. Daily budget, pretty self-explanatory. Hey, I want to spend $10 a day, and I want to run this ad. I would not recommend you guys run an ad for less than $5 a day. They actually won't let you spend less than $5 a day, but that's kind of the lowest I would recommend you running an ad for. Do not run ads for less than $5 a day. So I'm asking you guys to skip Starbucks and spend $35. Anytime you get a new listing, you should be spending a minimum of $35. putting together a Facebook ad, just listed house, home for sale. I'd strongly recommend you guys just start with that. And if we can help you guys do a Facebook ad or you want us to just handle it for you as well, we do a 7-day Facebook ad. If you go to our website, Chris Zach Interact, you'll see you can actually purchase just a 7-day Facebook ad for 89 bucks, where we basically do all of this for you and handle it. But you can set your daily budget up. As I mentioned, run it for a minimum of typically 7 days. We do run some ads on open houses for 4 days. So we'll run it from, like a Tuesday to a Saturday. Open house ads, we can typically get away with spending a little bit less of time. But otherwise, you're going to want to spend and keep that ad live for a minimum of 7 days. You can always increase your budget. So I recommend starting small. And then as you see the results that you want, keep adding in a little bit more and more every day. All right. Next up is choosing our audience. Okay, so choosing your audience. We're not going to talk about custom audiences today. Actually, next week on my Facebook Ads 201, that is when I get into actual targeting and we get into custom audiences. So today, we're just going to talk about, hey, what audiences does Facebook allow you to do and run ads with? So that's what we're going to just stick with today here. All right, so we're going to choose location first. All right, so here on my screen, guys, you're going to notice the smallest you can go down is a 15-mile radius, 1-5. That's as small of a radius you can do for a real estate ad. You can obviously expand it as big and as wide as you want it to. You'll notice here on my screen, this is just for training purposes. I do not recommend you guys targeting 4 cities in your ad unless you're spending quite a bit of money. But here on my screen, you'll notice I can show an ad. So I'm in San Diego. I might say, hey, I want to show an ad to people in Seattle. We're getting a lot of people relocating from Seattle or San Francisco down to San Diego. So I'd recommend you can do 1 or 2 cities, but what I'd recommend for the first one is just do 1 city, and I would do a 50-mile radius, 50. Excuse me. Now, you know your area and your market better than I do. So if you're in New York City, a 50-mile radius is massive, right? That covers probably what, 5 states there in New York City. So I'd recommend starting out kind of small, a smaller radius, and then just kind of expanding as you go. But know your market, know your area, guys. Most cities, though, you can get away with a 50-mile radius, but a minimum, you can do that. All right. So that's the physical location. Now, next up is what's called the demographics. Now, the demographics, this is really the secret sauce. So if you think about it, do you know when you go on Amazon and you shop for a black pair of Nikes, and then the next time you jump on Facebook or Instagram, you're seeing those shoes coming up over and over? It's like they're stalking what you're doing online. This is why. This right here is exactly the secret sauce. So what I love about this particular feature here in Facebook is you can basically piggyback on all of these websites. There's billions of websites that are sending data back to Facebook. So when you're running a real estate ad, what I recommend doing, piggyback on Zillow. And here's what I mean. Regardless of how you feel about Zillow, people are going on Zillow every single month, right? I want to say they get over like 10 or 100 million. I forget the exact number, the amount of traffic they're getting to their site, but it's insane. But what you can do is you can say, hey, Facebook, show this ad to anyone who's recently been to Zillow.com. Why would you do that? You know that someone's going to Zillow. They're probably interested in real estate. So Facebook gives you all of these, what they call demographics, interest, or behavior. Think of it as, hey, I want to show this ad to anyone who's been on Zillow or anyone who's been on Trulia. Now, when you start to type in some of these demographics here, guys, you'll notice that there's this little suggestions box. What I'd encourage you to do is get familiar with some of these different suggestions that Facebook has right here. You'll notice I can target first-time home buyers. I could target the real estate industry. I could target people who have recently used a mortgage calculator online. I could target people who are looking for a single-family detached home right now. So first ad that I run, I would just pick 1 or 2 demographics. Don't overcomplicate this. When I say keep it simple, you're going to do a 50-mile radius around San Diego, and then you're going to choose two of these. If you have to only choose two, Zillow and Trulia. So for those of you taking notes, Chris told me I need to spend a minimum of $5 a day, 50-mile radius around my city, and then I need to target Zillow and Trulia. That's the secret sauce. That's the formula right there, guys. That's why agents have good success with Facebook ads in the targeting side. Now, I just want to pause there. Any questions, comments, concerns at all? All righty, guys. Last thing we have to choose on this page is the platforms. Facebook, as I mentioned, they're owned by Meta. Meta owns a lot of different companies. Obviously, they own Facebook Messenger, they own Instagram, they own WhatsApp. When I'd recommend launching an ad, I'd only do it on Facebook or Instagram. You'll notice here that they also have what's called an audience network. Um, Facebook actually advertises on millions and millions of websites. If you go to ESPN.com, for example, those are Facebook ads that you see on the right side and at the top. CNN.com, Fox News, all of these major websites, they have Facebook ads on them, whether you know it or not. So when you run a Facebook and Instagram ad, just know that you also have the option to show those ads, not just on Facebook or Instagram, but other millions and millions of others' websites. What I'd encourage though is just run these ads on Facebook and Instagram. Unless you've been doing Facebook ads for a long time and you know where most of your leads are coming from, know your audience. Now, let's talk about Facebook versus Instagram. Instagram, younger demographic, first time home buyers. Instagram is 15 to, I would say, about 45 years old. Younger demographic. Facebook, people on Facebook, I would say, are 25 years old, all the way up to 150. Everyone's mom, mom's mom, grandma, great grandma, everyone else is on Facebook. Facebook still gets a ton more traffic than Instagram, but if you were running an ad for just first time home buyers, you might just want to show that ad on Instagram. That's going to be really your kind of your primary audience, if you will. So, really important to keep that in mind. So target Facebook, target Instagram, or you can pick and choose. You can just say, hey, I just want to show this ad on Facebook or Instagram stories. So you can kind of also select which specific platforms you're showing it onto. So, all right, guys, last step. We've talked about the type of ad, we've talked about budget and money and who's seeing it. Now let's actually create the physical ad. So this is the actual visual element that the general public sees right here. Okay, so this is where you choose what type of ads you want to visually focus on. So you'll notice on my screen, there's a few options that we've got here. You've got what's called single image, we've got video, and then you have what's called carousel. We'll talk about these three options. So the first one, this is an example of a single image. The single image itself, you will notice we've got one that's more of a landscape. This is for people on desktop computers. Then you've got what's called, more of the portrait, more your vertical type of a photo. This is really good for people on Facebook and Instagram stories and reels. And then you've got this one, which is the mobile feed, aka people on their cell phones and their tablets. Just so you guys know, about 90% of traffic comes from these two right here. People, yes, they are still on their desktop, but 90% of people that are going to see your ad, these are the two views that you really want to make sure you're optimized for. Next option is you have what's called carousel. All right, carousel is a collection of either photos or video. These are all square images, so you'll notice. And then the nice thing about square is you will also be able to just kind of toggle through and actually see what's going on. Um, so if you click on actually the like the first photo, for example, it'll allow you to basically scroll through the next photo or the next video itself. So you have all the options to basically display it. I'm a big fan of carousel for like a specific listing. So if you think about it, a single image might not sell that house, right? You've got picture of the front of the house, then the next image you've got, the inside, you've got the back patio, the pool, the bathrooms, the kitchen. So carousel allows you to just share a collection of different photos or videos. And as I mentioned, this is all square format. So this is 1080 by 1080 right here. Next up, you've got video. Video, video, video. Video still does really, really well. Good news, bad news about video. The good news, video works really, really well and keeps people engaged. The bad news, a lot of agents tend to sell the entire property on that video. So with videos on ads, they have to be under 59 seconds. That's not my rule, that's theirs. So you cannot show or run an ad for a video unless it is 59 seconds or less. So what I would encourage you guys to do is this is more of a teaser type of a video when you run it for ads. Hey, this is Chris. I'm right here at my new listing here in Rancho Penasquitas. Take a look at this backyard and this pool. Now, if you want, you can view a full tour of this property. Click the link below and you can tour and see all of the photos of this home. Something like that, really short and sweet. But you'll notice this. This is a good kind of a teaser type of a video as well, where we're just trying to get people back to the website, trying to get people engaged. All right. Now, all of our clients, we do the video editing and graphic design and everything for, but obviously I'm teaching you guys how to fish on your own. So what I would encourage you guys to do is use Canva, 10, 12 bucks a month, share it with another agent in your office, or CapCut. CapCut's really good for video and social media videos. My team, I'm not a graphic designer, but my team, they have Photoshop, they have all the Adobe products and everything. But most agents, they say Canva. Canva has thousands of real estate templates. They make it really, really easy. And then same thing with CapCut. There's a lot of really cool AI features they have that actually make this a lot easier than you realize. So pretty cool stuff. Now, writing the actual ad, let's talk about that. So there is a method behind the madness. Uh, I see some agents and what they do is when they write an ad, they just copy and paste the entire MLS description. The goal of the ad is not to sell the house. The goal of the ad is to get them off of Facebook or Instagram and to your website and into your CRM, right? You want to get as many people to raise their hand. Hey, I actually am shopping in San Diego. So couple things that you need to write. First is what's called the headline. Headline's going to go right below the photo or video. Headline, you want to use 7 or 8 words max and use emojis. Use emojis. I'm a 42-year-old single dad. It's still awkward for me using emojis, but I promise they work. They do a really, really good job of getting and keeping people engaged with your ad copy. So you've got headline. Right above that, you've got primary text. Primary text, 2 to 3 sentences max. I always reiterate the headline here in the primary text. And then I always say 1 or 2 sentences about the house. You want to keep it relatively short and sweet. You don't want to tell an entire story about the property. And then the end of that ad copy, you want to tell people what to do. Do you want more information on this home? Click learn more to view photos of this property. Click learn more to, schedule your own private tour. Click learn more to view this property on our site. You've got to have some type of a call to action to tell people what you need them to do. That's so important. Internet users, we have such ADHD brains where they'll read your ad and they're like, "Oh, I'm really interested in it." And then they're just clicking on to the next graphic, the next post that they see. So when you tell people, "Hey, stop, click this link, tap learn more." When you tell people what to do, they follow your instructions. And then the last thing is description. Description only shows on desktop computers now, but that's hidden right below the headline here. So for those of you taking notes, guys, this is an example of kind of like some of my ad copy. If anyone wants to take a screenshot, go ahead. But right here, this is exactly where you're going to basically use this. uh, use this as your own. All right, so you'll see a couple headline examples, short and sweet. You'll see primary text. I shorten this up just so it all fits on my screen here, guys. But this primary text, I would probably say one or two more things about this listing. The other thing you'll notice is I always put in price point in my ads. If you do not, you're going to get a bunch of trolls on your ad. I hate when realtors post, a listing and they don't show the price. I always put the price. I put it in my ad copy. I also typically will put it in the actual graphic. You're going to steer some people away. That's okay. You don't want people that are looking for $1 million property when it's a $200,000 home you're advertising, and vice versa. The other thing, too, kind of common mistakes I see a lot of agents make. You'll see some of my headlines like golf course properties available for sale. That's amazing. However, if I'm showing my ad to people in San Diego and Phoenix, you're going to get people that are like, hey, I'm really confused. So if you do something really specific, like, golf course properties, just make sure that you're only showing that ad locally, because otherwise you're going to get people that register on your ads from all over the place. So San Diego golf course properties, now I know what I'm registering for. So really important. Um, Here's an example of just kind of a completed ad, just showing you guys all of the different things, what it looks like. And then the last step is you do need to actually have what's called a call to action button. This is the call to action button right here on your screen. Um, there's typically three that we use. So we use Learn More. I would say that's our number one that we use. Download now and get access. Those are the other two. So download this free list of properties now. Download our free seller's guide. Get access to our list of properties for sale in San Diego. So call to action button, you need to have it. It's important. And then the last thing that you do have to do is once they do register, where are you going to take them? Do not take them to your homepage. If I registered for info on 123 Main Street, send me to your website and I'm looking at that specific house. Most of you guys listening to this, you use Lofty. Lofty makes it really easy to create landing pages. But really, really important, guys, save people a click. People aren't going to remember when they go to the website, oh, this is a listing Bill posted on, 128 Johnson Street, Unit 4B. People don't remember all that details and all that info. So just take them to the website, save them a click, and then you're going to publish that ad. And then high five. First time that you do this, the ad should go live pretty quickly, typically a couple minutes at most. But for the most part, your ad will typically go live within about 5 minutes. If your ad ever gets rejected, my guess is it's because you turned off or you did not turn on that it's a housing category. So the very first step, make sure that you're always selecting housing category before you create a new ad. And that completes our training here today on Facebook Ads 101. So just a couple of housekeeping things for you guys. We always have agents that say, hey, Chris, it's super helpful. Can we just hire you to handle this or, handle one listing that we need help promoting? If you guys do want, feel free to scan that QR code and you can get scheduled right into my calendar and do a free consultation. If you enjoy my teaching style, follow us on social media. We only work in real estate. That's our bread and butter. So we don't work with dentists or any other industries. So we're typically posting different tips and tricks that we're learning with our clients. So follow us on social media. And then the last thing, we do a newsletter. We send this out twice a month. I encourage you guys to do this to your clients, your sphere as well. But we're constantly sharing different tips and tricks. We just sent out a newsletter about ways to get more reviews on Google. So sign up for our newsletter if you enjoy my teaching style. If you do sign up for the newsletter, just make sure to confirm your email address. And then last thing, if you guys do have any questions, Chris, can you take a look at my Facebook Business Manager? Feel free to visit our website or email me at chris@chriszacinteract.com. Just please be patient. Anytime I do these trainings, I typically get quite a bit of email and requests coming through, but always here to help you guys. So hopefully you found this helpful. Once again, if you do want the recording, please either email me and ask for the recording or ask it here in chat. Real doesn't keep these recordings. I actually have to record these on my end. So I'll send you the recording for Facebook Ads 101. And then, as I mentioned, I teach Facebook Ads 201 as well. I typically teach the first and third Thursday of every month on Facebook Ads 101 and 201. So hopefully, you guys will join me next week for Facebook Ads 201. But otherwise, I'm going to hang out for a couple minutes, answer any questions. But otherwise, hopefully, you guys found this helpful. And happy selling. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys. Thanks so much. Any questions?